this is Mrs. Girot, your image, is this image design? Yes, your image design teacher, and I'm making this video for you because I just wanted to, demonstrate for you how easy it is to do those Friday bell works. And if you remember, they're only going to be open for 1 week, and right now they're extra credit. But once I feel like you've had enough time to get the hang of them, they're not going to be extra credit anymore. It's going to be required. So right now I'm giving you a couple of weeks to get it down before I start, like counting it actually against you. So this is extra credit right now, but next week may not be. Of course, next week's Thanksgiving, so we won't even have one next week, right? It won't be till the next Friday. So you're going to click on content, and then you'll notice over here, right now if you look in your plan will tell you that you are supposed to have your, like yesterday, it said to work on your Friday bell work, right? So make sure that you're using your plan. Click it on the week view. Make sure that you have all calendars selected, okay? And you can also go in, how fun, and change the colors of, change calendar colors. So if you're not liking your color scheme, you don't have to stick with that. You can change it. But anyway, when you hover your cursor over things, it will generally show you what it is. In my classes, when you click on it, you can go more, and it'll actually take you to the assignment. So you'll notice it says that rules with Friday bell ringers. You must write one sentence. You must clearly state your argument. You must provide evidence. Bell ringers will only be open for 1 week. No makeups after they are closed. It says first watch the video analysis of your week 1 bell work. And so you will click on that. That's also a part of the week 2 critique. So if you have already watched the week 2 critique, when you click on that, you're going to notice, I think I've heard this before. But if you don't think that and it feels fresh to you, then maybe you do need to see it again. So watch it again if it's looking like, I don't remember seeing this. Okay, and then it says number 2, after you've completed the video analysis, you're going to click this link to continue. So I'm going to click that link right now. Here it is. Boom. Image design bell work 1111. It says to watch the video analysis before you write your claim. Here it is. Wait. Yeah, here it is right here. This is a YouTube version, but if you can't watch YouTube, here's a safe YouTube version, and your computer should open that up. I did have some students who forgot to write their first and last name. Okay, if you don't put your name in this blank, how am I going to know whose it is? I actually have several claims that have been written with no names. So if you're getting this email, it's because either your name wasn't there or you just haven't done this yet. And here's the prompt. It says, is George Gree's artwork Lost Beauty an example of harmony in design or disharmony in design? Provide specific evidence from the artwork to support your claim. How fun. That is such a cool picture, isn't it? And so I had a lot of students that did an excellent job. But I think the big thing to watch out for is that's why you've got to watch that video analysis, is that some of you aren't writing a claim with a very specific argument that restates the prompt. So an example of restating the prompt would be to say, George Gree's artwork, Lost Beauty, is an example of, if you want to say harmony in design, that's your choice. You've got to provide evidence from the artwork to support your claim. Or you could say George Gree's artwork, Lost Beauty, is an example of disharmony in design, right? So you have 2 choices on how you can write your claim. It's either an example of harmony or an example of disharmony, but you've got to choose one, and you have to state it verbatim, like the prompt states it. You can't just say George Gree's artwork is an example of harmony, because George Gree might have a lot of artwork, and you need to be specific and state the specific artwork, Lost Beauty, because otherwise, remember, you have to always write your argument papers as if the person who is reading it has no background knowledge at all about this topic. And if you're not very specific, they're not going to have a clue what you're talking about. So you've got to write it to a person that really is starting with zero knowledge about the subject, okay? That's why we keep on telling you to be very specific. Okay, so I've droned on and on about that. And then that's where you type your answer down here. George Grie's artwork, what was it called? Lost Beauty is an example of harmony in art. Let's see, is that how I worded it? Harmony in design. Ooh, is an example of harmony in design. And then, I mean, the easiest thing to do is say, comma, because, and then whatever reason you think it's an example of harmony, because the ground is la la la, whatever you would say, and the mountains are blah blah blah, whatever you'd want to say, or the violins are blah blah blah, whatever, okay? Also, the other thing that I taught you how to do is use a semicolon, all right? So, you know, don't underestimate, and don't just write is an example of harmony just because I did here, okay? You need to think for yourself, and I'm not going to give you any evidence, because you need to analyze that picture yourself based on the elements and art principles of design that you learned about in week 2, okay? So what we're talking about here is, I know I showed you how to access this using your plan, but when I started this video, I was going to the content and I was showing you that if something says the week 2 assignment or the week 2 test or the week 2 Friday bell work, that's because it's in the week 2 folder, right? So remember in week 2, hopefully you've done your lesson and test, and if not, maybe this is going to inspire you to do that. But in this week 2, you learned all about the elements of art. You learned about line, shape, form, texture, space, value, and color. And then you learned about the principles of art. And don't be afraid of all these videos, because they're all super short. They're all like 4 minutes long. So it's short, okay? And they're videos. I could make you read an encyclopedia. Or, heaven forbid, an art history book, okay? No, I'm trying to make it easy for you and enjoyable. Art is so much fun when it can be visual. That's why I'm trying to make things more visual for you, because it's visual arts, right? And you can read a whole entire essay about an artwork, and yes, it's going to give you a lot of insight, but if you've never actually seen the artwork, if you don't have an actual visual of it, you know, your experience isn't as rich, which is why I like these videos, because they talk about line and they show you like tons and tons of different artworks that illustrate all the different ways that line are used. It's awesome, and shape and form. So watch these videos if you haven't already. So make sure you do your week 2 lesson, and that week 2 critique is pretty important, okay? Because that's going back to that week 1 assignment that we did, and I'm teaching you basically what I'm looking for in your artwork and how to use those principles and elements of design to think about art and to create your art. And so then after you've done all that, you've gotten up to this point, get caught up if you haven't, that's when you start doing that Friday bell work, okay? That's the exact same assignment that was in your plan. I link them together. Pretty cool how I do that, huh? So going back to that, make sure you get that done, guys. And right now we're in week 3, just a little FYI. We're in week 3, and today you're supposed to be doing your lesson and test. So here's that. And then tomorrow you're supposed to be starting on your assignment. Whoops, don't have it posted in there yet. Guess that's what I'll be doing after I get everything graded and updated. Okay, so tomorrow you'll see that assignment there. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your listening to me. And I make these videos because, you know, how else am I going to get people to listen to me? Okay, I have good things to tell you. And I just look forward to seeing your claims. I look forward to seeing perfect claims. So I look forward to.